Whether you're a copywriting pro or a brand new beginner, I'm Brittany Long, and I'm going to show you how to use AI in copywriting. First, I'm going to share the secret to great copywriting that you can leverage with the help of AI. Then I'll show you how to take your AI written copy from good to great. Next, I'm going to share my secret weapon that's a simple but powerful prompt that's going to save you tons of time. And finally, you'll get my copy feedback formula to refine your copy fast. Because nobody wants to sound like ChatGPT with unleashing and locking, diving and delving. First, we're going to start with your audience and motivations. This is the secret that every good copywriter knows. You have to talk to your audience. One of the biggest mistakes that people make in copywriting is that they write to everybody. They don't have a specific niche audience in mind. So that's the first thing we want to do. And you might be thinking, well, I'm not really sure who my audience is, or my audience is everybody. So why don't we use ChatGPT to help us get a little bit more clear on who your audience is? The first thing you're going to do is go into ChatGPT and say, I'm going to tell you everything I know about my audience, but I need you to ask me some clarifying questions because I'm not sure exactly who it is, and I know I need to narrow down. After it does that, you're going to have a conversation. You're going to say, yes, I think this is my audience. No, I don't think that this is. Or yes, I want to work with these people. No, I don't want to work with these people. The more you can have that conversation and narrow it down, the easier it's going to be really, really clear on who your audience is, and just as importantly, who your audience isn't. After you have a clear picture of who your audience is, we want to get clear on what their motivations are. What is it that keeps them up at night? What is it that gets them up in the morning? What is it that makes them excited to do whatever it is that they're doing that you're helping with? What are their problems? What makes them restless? We're not just looking for problems here, we're also looking for the aspirations and the inspirations, the things that bring them joy in life. You also want to look for patterns. So what does your audience have in common? What do the people that you've worked with that you love working with, what do they have in common? That's all the stuff that we want to tell ChatGPT, and then it's going to spit out some ideas for us. Now, in the past, copywriters have had to do tons of research, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do research still, but you can definitely shortcut by talking out the process with ChatGPT and talking about who your audience is and isn't. One of the really cool parts about ChatGPT 4.0 is that it now has an option to talk back and forth, like literally talk back and forth. You can pull it up on your app, and there's a headphone in the bottom right. You can click on that, and it's actually going to pull up a way for you to talk back and forth with ChatGPT. You're going to hear its voice back. So if you're an external processor, this is even better. Next, we're going to identify your audience's problems and obstacles. Ideally, with your offer, we want to make sure that you are solving a problem and a problem that matters to them. One of the mistakes I see for business owners and entrepreneurs is that they'll try to solve a problem for their audience that their audience doesn't really care about, or it's a problem their audience needs to have solved, but doesn't necessarily want to have solved. If you've ever tried to sell a mindset course to people who aren't quite ready for a mindset course, you know how challenging that can be. So we're heading back to ChatGPT, and we're going to ask it to identify the obstacles and the problems that your audience has. And we want to go as deep as possible. So when we're talking about problems, we're not just saying they're feeling overwhelmed. You've probably seen that in copy before. Everybody's overwhelmed. But that's not going to make your copy any different. It's not going to make your offer sound any different. So when we're looking for good copywriting, we want to specifically identify the problems and obstacles that your audience is feeling and experiencing. So instead of saying they're overwhelmed because they have so much going on in their lives, what does that overwhelm feel like? What does that overwhelm look like? How does it manifest into their life? What's the picture that we want to paint the picture of what that actually looks like? So is that they can't sleep because they're waking up in a frenzy because they have so much on their to-do list? That's the kind of stuff that we want to do to get more specific. Now, if you're not a copywriter, that might not come naturally to you. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT or Claude to help us out. You can go into ChatGPT and say, I want you to help me identify the problems, and I want you to go as deep as possible. Go deep into their human psyche. Instead of just telling me they're overwhelmed, I want you to paint the picture of what that actually looks like. Now, as a copywriter, this is something I would do manually. Now with AI, we're able to do that much faster and go at a much deeper level. Before, I just had the opportunity to say, okay, they're feeling overwhelmed. What does that mean from my lens? But now with ChatGPT, I can say, in general, for this audience specifically, what does that mean? And there might be some things that it identifies that I didn't identify because I've never experienced it or seen it myself. Now I'm going to tell you about my secret weapon, feedback and surveys. Now, feedback and surveys are really helpful whether you're using AI for your copywriting or not, but especially if you want to use AI to have better copy, feedback and surveys are like the golden nugget. And here's why. Anytime someone joins one of your programs, you can have them fill out a survey. And one of those questions should be, why did you decide to join this program? They're gonna tell you all the reasons they decided to join. You can copy and paste that entire column and put it into ChatGPT and say, I want you to come up with the main reasons people join this program and pull out some quotes for me as well. And then we're gonna take that and we're gonna actually put that into the sales page so you can attract more of the same people that you already love, you already wanna work with, onto that sales page and into your program. Now I'm gonna give you my copy feedback formula to refine your AI written copy fast. The first thing that we're going to do is look for common ChatGPT words. We wanna avoid words like treasure trove, unleash, unlock, all those that you see in your copy all the time or that you see in other people's copy and you know immediately, ChatGPT wrote this. We want to take those out. We want ChatGPT or any other AI tool for that matter to be like a co-pilot, to be a helper, to be our teammate, but not to be the main copywriter. That's you. So here's my 4-step copy feedback formula. The first thing you're going to do is tell it your preference. So what do you like and don't like about the copy that it's already written? Is it too flowery? Is it too expressive? Is it too boring? Is it too robotic? What is it that you like and what is it that you don't like? Now this copy feedback formula is really similar to how I would give copy feedback to my writers that are on our writing team. So the first one is preference. The next one is examples. You're gonna show it what you like and don't like. So we said, here's what I like and don't like and here's why, but now we're gonna say, this is what I would do instead. Here's an example of what I'm actually looking for. For example, if ChatGPT is saying that your audience is frustrated, the copy is, oh, you're frustrated from getting up early. We wanna go a little bit deeper than that. Everybody's saying frustrated, so what's gonna put your stuff apart? So we're gonna give the example of, you know what, yeah, they probably are feeling frustrated, but I think maybe what's more accurate is that they're feeling discouraged. They're feeling like they've put in all this work and nothing seems to be moving forward. You see how that feeling is a little bit different. Frustrated is this generic word that we've used to describe a lot of different things, whereas they feel discouraged because they're not getting anywhere. It paints a more clear picture. So you're gonna give an example of what you want to be different. And you're gonna give that example straight to ChatGPT. When you give it those examples and give it a more clear picture of really what it is that you're looking for, it's going to give you a lot more of what you want right from the get-go. Now, I usually spend a lot of time on the first 2 Facebook posts or Instagram posts or emails or whatever it is that I'm writing, because I know that if I spend time on those few, the rest of it's gonna go so much faster because it's going to remember it in that particular chat. The third thing you're going to do is ask it to review itself. Whether you're using AI as a team member or a human team, this is something that I'd really encourage you to do because asking people or asking AI to review itself gives it an opportunity to learn. So usually what that looks like is I'll say, this is what I asked you to do. This is the outcome I want, and this is what you gave me. I want you to review yourself and tell me where you missed the mark. When it does that, it has a better idea of what I'm looking for, and I don't have to spend as much time going through and reviewing it myself. And the fourth one that I touched on earlier is change. So we talked about example and what you want to change. Those two really go nicely together. We want to give it examples, and that shows it what we want it to change. Now I have a free gift for you because I know you don't want to sound like AI. You don't want to make this mistake that all those other entrepreneurs are making where it totally sounds like AI and maybe you feel like, I don't know if they really understand me. I don't know if they even really care. So when you click the link below, you're gonna get a free copy of my common list of AI words to avoid so that you don't sound like everybody else and it's easier to bring people into your program or your coaching. My name is Brittany Long and this was How to Use AI in Copywriting. Grab your free download below.